guys, welcome to my room again. And as you can see, Christmas has come a bit late this year. So I don't know if you guys follow me on Instagram, but if you do, you would know that I've been expecting some more parts from the parts bike in Pakistan. So my parents just came back and I got pretty much a full carton of RGV parts from the parts bike. So let's go through them together. So let's go through the carton first. Yeah, go on. Right, so first off we got a radiator bracket. Looks in pretty good nick, all things considered. I mean, let's remember this bike has been stood in a factory for, well, it's been outside for about 5 years and then in a factory for about 5 years. So in terms of rust, it's not bad. Even the finish is somewhat salvageable. Maybe with a wash it'll be fine. So that's the radiator bracket. This is probably about 20 quid if you buy one second hand, and it will be worse condition than this, I can tell you that. So that's the first thing. Put that to the side. Next thing, we got some dog bones from the shock linkage. These I already have some, but you know, they're from they were from a job lot of parts, so I don't know if they were the right length, etc. So they could be off of video 21 or something. So same with the shock linkage. So I got my dad to bring me the dog bones from the shock linkage and the shock linkage, because I know they're VG22 parts. So that's the shock linkage, dog bones, and here's that shock linkage that I was talking about. So yeah, this is definitely a VJ22 one, since it was on the bike there. And basically, don't know if you guys know, but even though the bikes in Pakistan might be bodged like these old 80s and 90s bikes, the parts will probably all be original, because it's so hard to find replacement parts for stuff like dog bones, linkages, etc. So they're most likely standard. And as you can see, that bearing has just shit the bed completely. The bearing cage, I think, is just broken, and that is just completely seized. Let me try and move that. Well, I can get that out. Can't go any further than that. Oh. Hold on. You stay here for 1 minute. Look at, oh my days. Yeah, just look at the state of my hands now. Yeah, I don't think I'm touching that again for a very long time. So I'll put that away. We'll go through it. Maybe we'll see whether we use this shock linkage or the one I already got on the bike on the fly build. So we got that. Then we got this. Anyone know what this is? This is the mudguard bracket. So basically, behind the mudguard, it slips in with these. So this slips in the back with these captive nuts, and it basically keeps its shape. And then that way, you can just mount that mudguard onto there. It also has a place for the lines to go through. Look at that. There's like spider webs or something in there. If it wants to focus, no, it doesn't. But yeah. So this part is needed, because I asked my dad to get me the mudguard as well, so he got me this as well. That's good. That will come in useful, because that part alone is 30 quid. Then the mudguard, an original one, which that one is I don't know, like 50 quid or something. I mean, the plan is to get a carbon fiber front one, but you know, the more parts I can bring, the better, because then I can just sell them to find other parts. So we'll see about that one. Then over here we got the left side pillion sort of bracket. I don't know where the things go on the pillion peg, but whatever, at least I got the bracket. And then I got the right side one, which incorporates the exhaust chamber as well. This would probably be about another 20-30 quid. It's in pretty good nick actually. It's a bit rusty, but it's not that bad. It's pretty thick. So just from these parts, let's go £30, maybe £10. That's 40 pounds. Shock linkage is another £30, so that's £70. And we've got bracket, £100. So just in this little pile here is about 140, 150 pounds. So this is why I would recommend to anyone doing a project, like if you can get a complete bike, it's best, or if you can get a parts bike for cheap, it's even better, because you know, these little parts, they add up to so much. So let's get this box to the side. Now we come on to the bigger stuff. So let's have a look at this. So basically, I don't know if you guys know, this bike used to own to the parts bike used to own, belong to my dad, and he did like a restoration on it. And when he did, he got this nice carbon fiber rear mudguard. Well, it was nice at the time. Now it's got a huge crack, like going in several different directions. Now a new one of these, wait, hold up, yeah, a new one of these would cost about 130 with this chain guard, or 150 I think with the chain guard. I checked again, but if you look at the rest of it, it's pretty nice. With a nice clean and a polish, it would be good. So I've been looking at some website called Easy Composites and their YouTube channel. So basically what you can do is you can get something called carbon fiber filler, which is like a filler, like it basically, you know, fishing rods. Let me put this down. So we've got a fishing rod, which is like a pole, and then if you have a cut in it or a piece missing out of it, and you need to wrap some more carbon fiber around it, you know, to as a reinforcement to stop it from breaking and to save it effectively, what you need to do is fill that gap with the filler first, and then you can wrap the carbon fiber around it. Because if you don't fill that gap and wrap the carbon fiber around, you're going to have a kink in your fishing rod, so then there's no real point. So for this, what I was thinking was to use the filler, like first obviously clean up, sand this area, drill the ends of the cracks, and then basically fill it. And then I was thinking lay a few small layers of carbon fiber on top. But you know what, the filler that they sell on Easy Composites is black anyway, or it's a graphite grey, to kind of mix and match with carbon fiber. So if I can get it with the filler anyway, all like sealed up and stopped from cracking, then I might not even need to reinforce it with carbon fiber, because this is going to be all the way around the back near the shock, so I don't think many people will see it. So this might be something that I'll be doing in the future on the channel. We'll have a look at that. And yeah, next we got that. So this looks like it's seen better days, but when you see how much a rear seat goes for on eBay and when they come up for sale, then you will appreciate why I brought this. Now this is the rear pillion seat for the RGV 250. Now there's 2 or 3 main things about this. One, obviously you can see it is cracked and just dried up so much. It's going to need complete recovering, including this sort of pillion hand strap. And the underside is very dusty, but it's not that rusty, so it should be alright. Should be good to save. Now the thing is that this is off of VJ22M tail. Now what many people do is they get sort of seat cowls for their RGVs, and however no one currently makes a VJ22M seat cowl. They all make it for the N and onwards models, and their subframe, which is this rear piece and the subframe underneath, is slightly thinner than the VJ22M ones, so neither the rear seat nor the seat cowl fits on the M models. So that's why, like, you can get a rear seat in really nice condition for a GSXR 400 for like a tenner, but that probably won't fit. I don't know if it will, but whatever. I think someone would have realized if it fit by now, but yeah, it looks very similar, but it just won't fit. So that's why I needed this seat and its base, and I'll just get it recovered, you know, it's not too bad. Along with that came this mounting hardware and this with the key lock thing, so it's a bit, you know, seized up, but with a bit of WD-40 and some cleaning, this will be fine. And then basically I'll have the rear seat as well. Originally, I think you guys have seen, I had like a fiberglass race tail on the RGV, but I'm really not keen on that, especially since it's flimsy and cracked and stuff. So along with this pillion seat, I asked my dad to get these tail panels. Now the RGV connoisseurs out of you guys will probably recognize that these are VJ22M side panels with the 3 vents, and these you would also know are extremely rare and pricey when they do come up. Now these ones obviously have seen better days. I mean, because the bike was parked up in Pakistan for like a decade and doing nothing, the clear coat has been completely sort of stripped and burnt and just baked, so it's cosmetically like it's seen better days. And there's a few scrapes here and there, but crucially all the lugs are there, nothing snapped off. It's got some of the bushes and things like that. No cracks on this one. This one is perfect, the left side. But however, the only issue is with this right side one. You got everything fine again, but just over here where there's the rear master cylinder sight glass, it's got a crack around there, because obviously it's quite thin in this section here. So let me turn it around and show you. Careful. Yeah, so as you can see, it's in the right state. All the clear coat has been sort of baked and stripped off pretty much. But yeah, I've got the middle tail section which goes in between the rear tail light. That's not an issue. So here, so it's cracked there, it's cracked there, and it's heading up. I really need to stop that before it reaches there. So I might drill it, or I'll give it to a specialist to do something. Because yeah, this is worth a lot of money, I guess. So obviously it's going to need some repairs, and at the end of the day every panel is going to need to be resprayed to match. But you know, that's how a project goes. Nothing ever falls into place completely. So yeah, I don't know if that happened during transit or whether it happened you know, before, while the bike was parked up for all those years. But all things considered, I'm very happy with these two panels. That'll be good. And I think let's have a look at the mudguard next. So here's the mudguard, genuine plastic one, not fiberglass copy. As I said, yeah, it looks all good. There's a bit of obviously cracking in the paint and everything, because it's a very dry environment there. And yeah, as you can see, this like sort of decorative decal that was on there like that, it's just where it was exposed to the sunlight, it's just been completely burnt and baked on. So yeah, that can be saved as well, or just get a carbon fiber one. Another thing which was a massive win in this whole thing was this. I wasn't like expecting this to happen, but these are the RG250 front discs, and as you can see, they are extremely corroded, and yeah, they look pretty disgusting. However, let me just get some digital calipers. So hold on. Let me get this set up over here. So if we stand this up and we check the thickness, hold up. So it's moved a bit, but crucially I can tell you it was something like 4.4 to 4.5 millimeters all the way round, and the minimum thickness on these RGV discs is 4 millimeters on the front one. So for both discs, we're looking at discs which are well within the wear thickness. Now the discs I bought a couple of months ago, I got for £20, and they are just below. They're like 3.95 millimeters or something like that. So I don't know if I can resell them. Those ones, the centered part, the mounting plate, is much better condition, so I don't know if I can swap that, because these rivets might not be able to be opened. But basically I might just keep those as spare, and what we'll do with these is we'll, you know, clean off all this corrosion on the faces and clean that up, give that a nice spray paint, and these discs will be good, because to get discs in this condition, they come up very rarely, so a pair would be about £100. And if you want brand new discs from someone like EBC or something, then you're thinking like £200 to £300. So this was a big win. Actually, I wasn't expecting these to be within limits, so there was a bit of a problem, because I had like a budget of weight, let's say, of about £15. So yeah, one hunch that I have as to why that's in thickness is basically in Pakistan, people are very afraid of using the front brake, let's say. So basically everyone you see, like their front brake would be adjusted so that it's so sort of loose and not very powerful at all. Everyone over there uses their rear brake like as their sort of primary brake for some reason. And yeah, maybe because obviously front brake requires control and you can't just slam on the front brake, you need to, you know, be like progressive with it. But yeah, so that's why I guess maybe over its 30-year life, 10 years it's been parked up obviously, but in those 20 years probably the front discs have barely been used. Everyone's just, you know, obviously using that shitty rear brake. So yeah, that's why the rear brake disc was below minimum thickness, which is why I ditched it. It was something like, I can't remember, I think the minimum thickness was 4.5 and it was something around 4. So yeah, the rear brake disc was below and the front discs were way above minimum thickness, so that was a good win as well. I think I needed the RGV 250M airbox, the VJ22 airbox, but there wasn't enough space because it's quite a big physical piece of plastic, so we couldn't bring that. I'll have to buy that. But the last thing is these braided hoses which my dad put on the bike 10 years ago. Now I don't know whether I should use these or not. Thing is, they're from this company called where's the mudguard gone? Not Motorflex. Yeah, these ones, Braided Steel Racing Products, right? So he got them about 10 years ago and put them on the bike when he last restored it, and basically they've been sitting, so they're pretty corroded, as you can see, like the Bandit box and stuff. We had this sort of gold strip on the top of the braided steel hose section, so that it might not be that bad under that, but maybe with the cleanup we can use them. But basically, obviously braided steel lines are expensive, you know, like 50-60 pounds for a set, and then what I can do with these is I can you know, just reuse them, because they've been sitting for 10 years but they've never been, like, you know, pumped through with hydraulic pressure that many times, and they've just had brake fluid in them. So if I can get that brake fluid out and cleaned, and if it's still good, then I'll probably use these. And last but not least, probably the biggest thing which I needed was this RGV 250 tank. So as you guys know, I already have a tank on the bike already. It's a silver one to match these silver panels, which I'll get to later. But basically it was good. It's pretty good condition. It's got a fuel tap, it's got the upper fuel cap with a matching key. However, if you come to the underside, it is dented right here outwards, which is a weird one, and this section, as you can see on this tank, is nice and flat. That is bulging outwards like that. Now, one explanation to that, I think, is that it must have had a dent in it previously, and it still does on that corner, the one I have downstairs, and I think someone must have pressurized the tank to pop the dents out. Now I don't know if it got the dent out or not, but it definitely bulged this outwards and bulged it outwards from here. So what that does now is, I wasn't sure if the airbox would fit, because as you can see it traces this shape here, and the airbox lid is exactly this shape. So I didn't know if I would be able to fit the airbox underneath. And also right below here goes the throttle junction box mount, and also the thermostat and stuff like that. So every time you'd bolt the tank up, that bulge would push that plastic bracket in, and it would fatigue it, and eventually it would crack it. So that's no good. So what I did is I got this tank. Now let me see if I can turn the flash on, because here's something we need to show you. So obviously the tank from the outside, as you saw, the clear coat has been stripped. It's a bit worse for wear, but let's have a look inside. Don't know if you can see that. Yeah, that is pretty rusty, isn't it? So yeah, basically what we have is a lot of rust inside, but none of it seems to have come through the seams. It's all just you know, all the seams look good. It seems watertight or airtight, or fuel tight should I say. There's something rattling around inside. I'm not exactly sure what that is. It might be the pipe that leads from here all the way through, which drains water. But we can get a better look in there. So yeah, as you can see, it's definitely gonna need something like electrolysis to fix that, or maybe I have seen some people on the Practical Sports Bikes forum, they've been talking about this thing called Deoxy. Now I'm going to probably try that because it's a reusable sort of mixture, and you can basically put it in your tank. It will work on that, and then I can use it on those discs which are corroded. I can use it on pretty much anything else that's corroded, and it will basically strip it off and neutralize it, and then I'll probably use a tank sealer or something. But yeah, that's seen better days. I mean, the other tank is much better internally, but I don't know if I can get those dents out. If push comes to shove, I'll see if I can get those dents out at the bottom and then use that tank. Then I'll probably sell this tank because these sell for quite a lot of money as well. So yeah, that's the parts I've brought from Pakistan this time. Let's just add that up. That was what, 150 quid in that little pile. This is 150 quid, so that's 300 pounds. That is about 50 quid, 350 quid, let's say, and then we got that is about 100 pounds, so that's 450 pounds. Braided steel lines are, let's say, 50 pounds. What did I just say? 450, yes, so 500 pounds. Tank is 100 pounds, that's 600 pounds. These two panels would be 100 pounds, that's 700 pounds. So pretty much, and then you add that stuff, so pretty much this whole of stuff, this is a big boost to the project in terms of aesthetics. So pretty much I've got everything I need in terms of bodywork. It's just that it needs to be, you know, cleaned up, electrolysis done on the tank, resprayed, maybe some plastic welding, recovered in like suede or leather or whatever, you know, cleaned up, resprayed, prepared. So it gives me more stuff to do and more content to put up on YouTube, and you know, it will keep the project chugging along. So having a parts bike is really beneficial. So that will be it for this video. I was just gonna, you know, let you guys know what I've been up to and what I've just brought back. So wish me luck. We'll get to this pretty soon. I'll see you on the next one. Bye. So one other thing I forgot to mention was that my dad got me from Pakistan is one of these. Check these bad boys out. Wow, look at the girth on that. So this is an M32 by 1.5 tap, second hand, but it should be alright. So basically this is for the thread that goes into the swing arm pivot adjuster. So I don't know if you guys know, but mine was seized solid in there, the swing arm pivot adjuster. So when I tried getting, I had to use a lot of heat and a really long breaker bar to get that out. So just to clean the threads up again, I don't know what was in there, but yeah, just to clean it up and make it action smooth because it's kind of jagged right now. So to do that, I got this M32 by 1.5 tap, and this tap, if you were to buy it from here, it would cost you around 60 or 70 pounds. I got this for just 10 pounds from Pakistan, so that's pretty good, I'd have to say. So that's another win.